The house on Eldridge Lane stood as a monument to forgotten horrors, its skeletal frame groaning under the weight of decades of neglect. Shattered windows stared out like hollow eyes, and the roof sagged as if the very structure was collapsing under the burden of its own dark history. The front yard was a wild tangle of weeds and gnarled vines, nature reclaiming what humanity had abandoned. No one dared approach it, not even the most daring thrill-seekers. But Emma was different. She was drawn to the forgotten, the mysterious, the places that whispered secrets through their decaying walls. When she found the listing for the house, the price was unbelievably low, and the real estate agent's eagerness to sell should have been a warning. But Emma ignored the signs, her curiosity overpowering her caution. The day she moved in, the sky was a heavy blanket of gray, the air thick with a light drizzle that seemed to cling to her skin. The house loomed before her, its jagged silhouette cutting into the horizon like a broken tooth. The gate screeched as she pushed it open, the sound slicing through the silence. The air smelled of damp earth and something else, something rotting. She told herself it was just an old house, nothing more. But as she crossed the threshold, a cold shiver raced down her spine, as if the house had been waiting for her. Inside, the decay was worse than she had imagined. The walls were stained with dark, spreading patches that resembled faces twisted in agony. The air was heavy with the stench of mildew and something metallic like blood. She tried to brush off the unease, chalking it up to her imagination. But that night, as she lay in bed, the whispers began. At first they were faint, like the rustle of dead leaves in the wind. She told herself it was just the house settling, the pipes groaning. But the whispers grew louder, more insistent, until they were impossible to ignore. They weren't random. They were trying to tell her something. Fragments of words and phrases echoed in her mind. Behind the wall. Find the key. The whispers clawed at her sanity, growing louder each night until they were deafening. A chorus of voices urging her to uncover the house's secrets. One night, the whispers became unbearable. They seemed to come from inside her head, a cacophony of voices screaming in unison. She sat up, her heart pounding, and that's when she saw it, a shadow moving across the wall. It wasn't cast by anything in the room. The shadow twisted and stretched, forming the shape of a person. It turned its head, and Emma felt an icy grip seize her heart. The figure was looking at her. She screamed, and the shadow vanished, but the whispers remained, louder and more urgent than ever. Behind the wall. Find the key. Driven by a mix of fear and desperation, Emma began to search the house. It was a maze of empty rooms and hidden passages, each one more unsettling than the last. The whispers followed her, growing louder with every step. Then in the attic she found it, a small rusted key hidden beneath a loose floorboard. The moment she touched it, the whispers became a deafening roar. Behind the wall. Behind the wall. She searched the house for a lock that matched the key, but found nothing. Frustrated, she returned to the attic and noticed a faint crack in the wall, hidden behind a stack of old boxes. Her fingers traced the crack, revealing a hidden door. Her hands trembled as she inserted the key and turned it. The door creaked open, revealing a narrow staircase descending into darkness. The whispers urged her forward, their voices a relentless chorus in her mind. She hesitated, her heart pounding, but she knew she had to go down. The staircase was steep and slick with moisture, the air growing colder with each step. The whispers became a deafening roar, filling her ears and mind. At the bottom, she found a small, dimly lit room. The walls were covered in strange symbols, carved deep into the stone. In the center of the room stood an ornate mirror, its surface blackened with age. The whispers seemed to emanate from the mirror, and as she approached, she saw something move within its depths. She leaned closer, her breath fogging the glass. A face stared back at her, her face, but twisted and grotesque. The eyes were black, voids. The mouth stretched into a cruel smile. She stumbled back, but the face in the mirror began to change, morphing into the visage of a man, his features twisted in agony. "Help me," he whispered, his voice barely audible over the cacophony. "Please, help me." Emma felt a surge of pity and terror. She reached out, her fingers brushing the mirror's surface. It was icy cold, and the moment she touched it, the whispers stopped. The room fell silent. The man's face disappeared, replaced by her own reflection. But something was wrong. Her reflection smiled, a smile that wasn't hers. Before she could react, the mirror shattered. The sound was deafening, and Emma felt shards of glass pierce her skin. But the physical pain was nothing compared to the terror that followed. The whispers returned, louder and more insistent, but now they were inside her head. She felt a dark presence pushing its way into her mind, a malevolent force that was too strong to resist. It was as if the house itself was trying to possess her. She stumbled back up the stairs, her vision blurring as the whispers grew louder. The presence was growing stronger, taking control of her body. She reached the top of the stairs and collapsed, her strength gone. The whispers stopped, but the presence remained, a shadow lurking in the corners of her mind. She knew it was only a matter of time before it consumed her completely. The house on Eldridge Lane had claimed another victim, and Emma knew deep down that she would never escape. The whispers had won,